Namaskar. The topic of discussion in this lesson is on the land use in Western India. All of you are aware that India is a large and diverse country. Its geographical area includes some of the world's highest rainfall zone to the level of very dry deserts, then coastline to alpine regions, and then from river deltas to tropical islands. These are ranging from the rainforest of Kerala in the south to the alpine pastures of Ladakh hills in the north, from the deserts of Rajasthan in the west to the evergreen forest in the northeast. So, if you look at this, India has a diverse range of landforms. Land is a valuable natural resource utilized for various human activities. It may be the cultivation of crops, settlement of population, creation of dams and reservoirs, development of industries, and maintenance of forests and wildlife. For all these types of activities, we depend on the land. Any kind of permanent or cyclic intervention of a land is called as the land use. It is the surface utilization of a vacant land or a developed land for a particular purpose at a given time. The utility value and the type of land use depend on several factors. The important factors are geographic location, physiographic condition, availability of water resources, fertility of soil, proximity to other human activities. All of them are controlling factors of a land. The land use distribution in India has been mapped for several years and finalized by the National Atlas and Thematic Mapping Organization. For a better understanding, the country is spatially divided into several plates as maps. We shall try to learn them with reference to these plates, and for convenience sake, we have classified them into regions called geographic regions, and in this series of land use of India, we are going to see them with reference to the following regions: the land use of northern India, the land use of central India, the land use of western India, the land use of eastern India, and the land use of southern India. The land use of western India are explained in this lesson. The aspects which are covered in this lesson are the general classification of land use of Delhi plate, land use of Jaipur plate, land use of Rajkot plate, and land use of Bhopal plate. So, we will be seeing the distribution of land use with reference to these plates, which are displayed in the form of maps. Let us see the first part, the general classification of land use. A large number of land use types and categories have been worked out by various researchers in different organizations. The classification of land into various uses and how these uses change over time will provide the background information for proper planning of these land resources. In India, out of the total geographical area of 328.73 million hectares, almost 93% of the total land has been properly mapped, and we have the land use statistics for almost 305 million hectares of land areas. The land use is basically classified into the following major types. The first one is agricultural lands, the second one is forest lands, the third one is non-agricultural lands, fourth one belongs to grazing lands, and the fifth one belongs to unproductive lands. The agricultural land includes irrigated cropland, unirrigated cropland, and plantation areas. Forests are central to many human activities. The forest areas are classified into reserved forests, protected forests, and unclassed forests. The term forest here means a reserved forest, protected forest, unclassed forest and the village forests. They also include some wastelands and rangelands. Forest lands are notified by the government to develop, protect and conserve the forest resources including the wildlife. The recorded forest area is the geographic area recorded as forest area in the government records. Reserved forests are the forest areas constituted under the provisions of the Indian Forest Act or other state forest acts, and we have the full degree of control and protection in these reserved forest regions. In reserved forest regions, all activities are prohibited unless permitted by the government. Protected forest is an area notified under the provisions of the Indian Forest Act 1927 and also the other state forest acts. They have limited degree of protection. In protected forests, all activities are permitted unless prohibited. These areas include national parks and wildlife sanctuaries. The unclassed forest areas are lands that are not classified as reserved or protected forests, but they are with the government. The non-agricultural lands are classified into urban settlements, mining areas and rural settlements, sandy zones, rocky zones, saline zones, badlands and snowfields. Based on these types of categories of land use patterns, the land use of different areas of India have been properly mapped by the National Atlas and Thematic Mapping Organization. Let us see the distribution pattern of land use in different parts of this region.